Welcome back. This is Dreddeus with the final episode in the Miami Dolphins franchise. I'm going to say final because I do plan to make this the final episode. I don't really know what else we could try to reach and achieve with this team here. Apart from going for a third winning season, but I doubt things like that would be crazily exciting for you to watch. We have really achieved everything that a team could hope for. We've won 2 Super Bowls back to back. We've had a perfect season, a season without one loss, without even a single loss. We had one tie, which was the worst result we had. The team that we've built is 99 offense, 96 defense, and 96 overall. So I really wouldn't even know where to start to, I don't know, do things differently or do make things better. I don't even know what to do here. What we will be doing now is we're going to be taking a quick look back at this season, at the team, just saying goodbye to the players that we really like, or that I like, and that have grown dear to me over the time. We've accumulated something like over 100 episodes, so there we go. The season recap shows us that the Dolphins, of course, won against the Buccaneers 24-17. We know that. 4-time Super Bowl champion, 7 times AFC champion, Super Bowl MVP Bijan Robinson. Not even a surprise right there. He was fantastic, as always, all season long. Nobody could even get close to him. NFL MVP Tyler Buckner for the Lions. That's the quarterback. Coach of the Year Dreddeus. Hooray. There we go. Offensive player Bijan Robinson, defensive player Aaron Donald, as always. He's back on the Rams, by the way. Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Packers, wide receiver Shelton Sampson Jr., Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Texans, cornerback Jalil Hurley. Very nice is that it was the same last year. I was not Coach of the Year then, but Bijan was the Super Bowl MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. Much deserved. 2024, he was the Offensive Player of the Year, not Super Bowl MVP. The year before that, he was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And well, before that, he didn't exist yet in the game in those terms, but yeah. Really, really great result, great game last week. The weekly awards going out to Bijan, of course, and Greg Rousseau, as always. 3 tackles, 2 sacks. And as always, that was what I meant, Bijan Robinson, the running back. 30 carries, 193 rush yards, 6.4 rush average, 1 rush touchdown, 2 receptions, 14 receiving yards, and 7.0 receiving on average. Jaron Hall was good, and Branson as well, 12 tackles. Really crazy numbers. He was so good, but we just overcame that. What else is there to do? I'm going to upgrade the players because I will want to look at the players, from a realistic point of view. I do want to rate them in a way that is fair to them and really makes sense as well. Doesn't really make a lot of sense rating a player if we have not really seen his true potential yet. Another point for Jamie Dane here. I think we have managed to make him a scheme fit. Number 97 joining from the practice squad. Greg Rousseau getting a point here. Gonna put that into run stopper. I will just try and make him an absolute beast. And to be honest, I mean, he has already become one. Some playmaker for Beaux Collins. He's now in 94 with all the buffs. A lot of points. Netane Muti will get an upgrade here into power. He's now 94 rated with the buffs, of course. Morale is super high. Another point here for Francis Mauigoa. He has really improved quite nicely. He's now mid-80s. That is a very good starting point. Donovan Edwards gracing us with the side view here. Yeah, just look at those guns right there. Then we've got Dashawn Womack, speed rusher, left edge, base 80, but of course he will be getting better and better. Let's add some zone points here for Kalen Bullock, 79 base. Will Shipley, running back, some points right there. I brought him in out of free agency. He was a free agent and he was just really looking good. Jeremiah Trotter also joining the first team again. 24 years old out of Clemson. For him, it will be a make or break, of course. I do think that he can bring something to the team. We can develop him. He's not expensive, so, you know, a lot of things to consider here. Those young players, of course, it makes sense to focus on making them scheme fits. And Deacon Richardson gets a point here. I will put this onto deep threat. 77 rated. 25 years out of LA Tech. Probably a player that we're going to be cutting because mid-70s. Not that crazy. What will I be doing now in this episode? Well, I will be moving through the weeks. I will just be, you know, showing you what I'm doing. But basically, we're going to end up as if we were going to be restarting a new season. Time to re-sign players. We're not going to be looking at the mock draft right now. We're going to be looking at the retirements. I do want to take a look here. Aaron Donald retires. This is a big one. Russell Wilson, David Andrews. A lot of veterans here. I do want to check who leaves us. Mostly retires. Tretter retires. Bridgewater and Emmanuel Ogbah, player that we started with, retires after 11 years. He was already a mentor, so that makes us short of a D tackle. We will have to sort of cover that role. Let me just check if there's anybody else here from the Dolphins. Probably a coach or something, but I don't see anyone. Head coach Glenn Powers retires. All right. Feel free to do that, my friend. Players ready to negotiate. We've got 6 players up for negotiations. Nicolas Petit-Frere. I don't know if I want to really keep him. Kyle Urban, 25 years old. I do think that I would like to keep him. Morgan Fox is a hard no. Siaki Ika. I don't know. Kareem Hunt. Jeremy Ruckert. To be honest, I'm going to let all of these go. Even Kyle Urban, I do like his strength. The 96 strength is really quite nice. But do I really want to waste the money on him when I can probably get a good player in from the draft or just get him back out of free agency? 25.75. Certainly not a player that we have to fight for hard right now. So nobody will be re-signed and we will be off to next week. Before we dive into the free agency or the draft, of course, we need to take a look at what we need right now. And we do have the franchise quarterback. Taulia is here, long-term deal. Tua is here as a bridge QB. The running back room is filled very, very well. We've got Bijan Robinson, we've got DeAndre Swift, didn't keep Kareem Hunt, but we have Donovan Edwards and we've got Will Shipley, both of which aren't bad, right? We can keep them around and actually we don't lose a lot of quality. We've got 2 absolutely brilliant running backs. So we are not losing anything here. Fullback Antwan Rabb, going to keep him around, of course. Wide receiver room, talent. All right, we've got Jaylen Waddle, we've got Jamarr Chase, we've got Beaux Collins. These 3 are absolutely above any questioning. All right. Then we've got Cam Steele, 82.25. We've got Carlos Steele, 24.77. And then we've got Deacon Richardson. And to be honest, this is a solid wide receiver room. All right. I can see myself developing these 2 here. And in, I don't know, 4 years or whenever Jaylen Waddle and Jamarr Chase might be bad, we can just slot them in. So we don't need wide receivers. Do we need a tight end? Well, yes, I want to have a 3rd tight end down here. But we can just bring one in from the draft. So I'm not really looking to sign one on an expensive deal. Left tackle, Peter Skoronski. We are fully set. Left guard, we have a very nice room. Very happy with this one here. Center, I want to bring in a new center. I think it's time to bring in a talented player out of the draft. A young player, Jarrett Patterson, 25.96, an award winner. He doesn't need more mentoring right now. Right guard, Netane Muti, Jackson Carman. Also, award winners across the board, fantastic, nothing to change here. Right tackle, Francis Mauigoa, very happy with him. I will be bringing in a player from the draft at right tackle, just feel like we could use that. Left edge, we've got Deshaun Womack, we've got CJ Craig. I don't need to do anything here. Right edge, Jalen Phillips, JJ Brown, Jamie Dane, who is looking a little bit on the weaker side, right? 25 and 71 rated, so I will be letting him go. Sorry, mate, but just not needed. D-tackle, I've got Greg Rousseau, I've got Brad Wheeler, we let Siaki Ika go, Emmanuel Ogbah retired, so we will be bringing in D-tackles. I feel I will be doing that from the draft. I don't think that we need to go crazy here right now. Adepoju Adebawore, behind him Kareem Koscielny. Fantastic setup, couldn't be happier with these two. Mid linebacker, I've got Nick Bolton, I've got Gerald McCutcheon, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Barrett Carter. And to be honest, Barrett Carter is one that is a little bit on the, it's got a question mark. Because Jeremiah Trotter will be usable. Barrett Carter, I don't think so. 24 out of Clemson. He's got good speed, good tackle ratings, but to be honest, I just don't see a future for him, especially with a player that is the same age and better already. Right outside linebacker, I've got Olafio away. Then we've got Keanu Colt behind him. Brilliant setup, no change needed. Cornerback room filled to the brim with talent as well. Derek Stingley and Malachi Moore locking down CB1 and CB2. Then I've got Malik Muhammad, who will be growing into a starter. We've got Tre'Vius Hodges-Tomlins, who's also really solid. And then we've got Roderick Glover. We've got AJ Harris. I'm a little bit, on the fence about Roderick Glover, but to be honest, for the moment, I don't see the need to really change anything up here. So we're going to leave it as is. Free safety, Jevon Holland, 27.98. Elite, no questions asked. Joel Moreland, 25.78. And then we've got Kevin Patton, who's 25.76. And he's one of those players, we tried developing him, didn't really work. We can add him to the practice squad, I think. But at age 25, I'd rather cut him. Don't really need him right now. And we have solid setup here as well. Strong safety, we've got Jordan Fuller as the starter. We've got Derek Williams, who's still going to grow into the role, I reckon. And we've got Kalen Bullock, who's actually the same overall as Derek Williams. So a good, solid, strong safety here that can help us as well. Apart from that, nothing to say about this room. All right, who else do we have? Kicker is Tyler Bass, super happy with him. And the punter is Jack Fox. Taking a look at the draft picks, we have 2 first-round picks, we've got 2 second-round picks, we've got 3 third-rounders, 4th, 5th, and 6th-rounders. So we can really just fill the roster from the draft. I think that is what I'm going to do because I just don't need any starters. I have no need for any expensive players. I will just be taking a look by position, a quick flyby if you want to put it that way. So here we go. We don't need the quarterback. That is absolutely out of the question. There are some interesting names in here. Will Levis, certainly interesting. DJ Uigalilei is interesting. Who else? Anthony Richardson. Expected him to be better, but okay. But then there's a lot of players that I just do not need in any way, shape, or form. We'll bring in a mentor again, why not? But apart from that, nothing gonna happen. Jahmyr Gibbs is topping the running back room. Zach Evans is here, but as I said, I have players that are just that good. I don't need a starter. I don't need to pay anyone big money. Don't need a fullback. Don't need wide receivers. Absolutely not. If I could snap up someone here, right? I don't know, Deontay Johnson on a super cheap deal, maybe. But look at the cap room. I don't want to waste that. Do we need a tight end? Yes, we're going to get that out of the draft. Let me just check that name. Who's this? Zach Kunz. Double Zs. All right. The left tackles, Jedrick Wills, of course. He would be pretty tempting to bring him in instead of Peter Skoronski, but it's going to be too expensive. Can't afford him. Jackson Cone, actually not looking too bad, 84 age 25. But again, I don't need starters. I've got a fully fledged, fantastic team. I would be diving in here if I would need players, but I just do not. So, not going to waste money. Left edge, I am fully set here, plus these players here, really not what I like. Seeing right now, at least, D-tackles. We're going to bring in a D-tackle at some point in time. But, Siaki Ika is here. We can snap him up out of free agency. Maybe after this period. Right edge, Jonathan Greenard is the highest rated. Don't need anyone from here. Left outside linebacker. There we go. Noah Sewell. He's going to be picked up by another team. Good on him. Don't really wish him bad. Mid linebackers, Ernest Jones, the highest rated. Yeah, I'm not going to bring in anyone here. Don't need anyone. We have a fantastic core right there. Right outside linebacker, same thing. Not even going to look at these. Cornerback, Marshawn Lattimore topping this one here. Kenny Moore also in here. But yeah, just not worth it. I just don't want to spend the money. Free safety. Oh, Minkah Fitzpatrick. He would be great. But again, don't have the money. Don't want to spend the money. It's more about wanting it, not about being able to, right? And then a strong safety, Amani Hooker, Ronnie Hickman. Yeah, everything nice. Kicker and punters are also in here. But we will not be partaking here. So I will be heading straight to the draft. We have completed the draft. And we have found a lot of very interesting players, really filling the gaps that we had. And, you know, just getting things done without spending too much cash on players. First up, Izendre Afua, a center out of Georgia. Rookie, 22 years old, 75 rated, hidden depth trait. I like the ratings. Strength, run block, pass block, run block, plow, and so on. So a lot of very good attributes here. Plus, he also isn't too slow. He's got good injury rating. So overall, I really feel like he might be a very good backup for Jarrett Patterson. Still has a long way to grow, of course, but I have no stress and no hurry with him. I really feel like this is a very good first pick. At pick number 9 overall, Ian Moore, right guard. You might be asking yourself, why did he go for a right guard? He said he needed a right tackle. Well, fear not, I will be switching him over to a right tackle. So he will be the backup for Francis Mauigoa. He also has a hidden depth trait, a little bit of a surprise there. 6'5", absolute giant. And yeah, whatever that may be, I'm going to switch him over later on. Brady Priestcorn, rookie out of Michigan. 6'6", even taller, 73 rated, hidden depth trait, and really good speed, good acceleration, catching traffic is pretty good. He's going to be the third tight end. He's going to be replacing Jeremy Ruckert. I feel like this is a good and a fair addition here. Ryan Pelham, I just picked him because he was that far up on the board. 21-year-old rookie out of Alabama, hidden depth trait, 74 rated. Speed, acceleration's beautiful, agility super high. So we might have an interesting prospect on our hands right here. Next up, I picked two D tackles. Melvin Hills is the first one, 71 rated, rookie out of LSU. Strength is good, tackle, awareness, power moves, acceleration, injury, stamina. He's going to be playing with the first team. So I do think that he will be gaining experience. Nasir Smith, 69, the first real disappointment of this draft. But yeah, I'm going to slap him in there into the practice squad. We are going to be signing a mentor anyways for the D tackle position. Apart from that, not much more to be said. Kavian Henderson, 71 rated, rookie out of Arkansas, right edge. I did bring him in. I just felt like, well, why not? He had good strength ratings, toughness, I like that. The injury is a little bit, looks a little bit tricky. We've got another wide receiver, Jelani Watkins. He's a first-round pick, and he was still on the board in, I don't know, 5th round or something. So I went for him. Speed, acceleration are out of this world. 97, 98. Brilliant stuff. Change of direction, 94. He's going to be super agile, actually. A lot of other attributes need some love, but apart from that, there we go. The team got some love. Willie Love is here, rookie out of Cincinnati, 22 years old, 67 rated. Normal depth trait. I think he's going to be in the practice squad, and that's going to be that. His career will be there. And then I picked true right tackle in Barry Walker, 64, rookie out of Florida State. I just liked it that he came from Florida. Plus, the strength rating really appealed to me. Lead block also looking good, but definitely far away from even being a backup so far, the players that we brought in on the draft. All right. Here we are. Everything is down to 0 and 0 again. This is the beginning of a new season and a new awesome and exciting journey for the Miami Dolphins. One that we might pick up at some later point in time again. But for the moment, I will be ending this franchise series, as I said before, but not before preparing this team to, to really be ready and handle everything that the league might be throwing at them. I want to take a quick look back at you, also a quick look forward at the team that we have here. Of course, we've got Taulia Tagovailoa, younger brother of Tua, 25 now, out of Maryland, superstar, depth trait 93 rated, and he's really grown to be such a very good and reliable quarterback. Now, we picked him up out of UDFA, if you remember that And he's been getting better and better and better ever since. I'm very sure that his two abilities have really helped a lot here. The quick draw and the protected one. In general, you know, if we want to take a look at the stats, and of course we want to do that, he has been improving each season, right? The first one was actually not bad, 2,500 yards, but he did have 16 touchdowns. He did have 20 interceptions. That's gigantic. Next season, he was a little bit better, 2,200 yards, or in yardage, he was a little bit worse. He was worse off in the touchdowns, but overall, he seemingly was a little bit better in terms of the completion rate at 63 over on the far right side. To 2025, he had 2,642 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, 60% completion rate, again, slightly higher. And the last season, 3,000 plus yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions only. I think that is saying a lot. And 72% completion rate. He will only get better. He will only get better over time. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that he will be the franchise quarterback for the next 5 to 6 years. Tua is still here, 29 and 80, of course. He's a bridge quarterback. He will turn into a mentor at some point in time. But Tua Taulia doesn't need that right now because he already is that far developed. Running back Bijan Robinson. Let's take a look at this player here. 99 rated out of Texas. Best halfback in the league. I don't think there's any doubt about that coming from anywhere. He's been so fantastic. I really think his abilities have helped him so far. The trust has really been helpful. The reach for it has been helpful. And avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. All of these have really made him one hell of a wrecking ball. You know, just slamming into opposing defenses and just creating space for himself. Taking a look at the stats, he has been getting better and better all the time in each and every category. First year 2,100, then 2,250, 2,460, and 2,400, but with way less attempts over here, right? 420 for 2,400, and here 2,400 with 389, which means he's just getting more on average, 6.2. That has been going up continuously. That's what counts for me. The touchdowns have been getting better all the time. And yeah, it's just been absolutely great. Plus, he's also not bad in terms of the receiving side. You know, he started out, of course, with the 200 yards and 605. Of course, this is not the main 40, but taking a look at the touchdowns. 4 touchdowns this season receiving, not bad. Average per reception is growing continuously. So I really think that Bijan is the MVP and the most pivotal player of this franchise series here. DeAndre Swift was also here. He's a very, very good backup. Snapped him up on that really criminally cheap deal, to be honest. But he's just really good. He's good to have as a backup. We have 2 players competing for that number 3 spot at the moment. It's Donovan Edwards and Will Shipley out of Clemson, and both of these will be, we'll just be seeing who develops a little bit quicker and who is better. Basically, both of these aren't practice squad eligible anymore, so I'm going to be playing with all of these 4. Fullback is still Antwan Rabb, who is steadily growing, right? I mean, there's not really much to be said about him because the fullback is not that much of a crazy exciting position, but he's just creating space. He's causing blocks and so on. So really, really think that he's very important. The wide receiver room. What a room. Jamarr Chase, let's check him out first. He joined us quite a while ago. He was one of the first trades that I did in the first season, of course. And, you know, I haven't been using the wide receivers that much. But when I needed him, he was there. And there's really nothing more to be said about this player. He was that good. He was that good. He was that great. Whenever I needed him, he was a weapon that was to be taken seriously by the opposing team. And that is everything I could ask for. Jaylen Waddle, same thing. Quality wide receiver, but look at his numbers. Of course, I'm underutilizing him. I know that. But he was there when I needed him. And he did get a few touchdowns. He did get those yards. He was there when it mattered. And that's the highest praise I can give him. Beaux Collins, is still a developmental player in my opinion, but whenever Waddle or or Chase do hang up the boots, then he's going to be there. Again, criminally underused to be honest, but he's the third wide receiver and I'm not that pass happy. I've become more pass happy this season to be honest, because it just felt right. But yeah, the averages have gone up continuously, and that is all I have to say. The receptions have gone up. He's become more of a target for me, and the future bodes well for this player. Cam Steele at 82 and 25. This is going to be a tricky season for him. I think he's a very good player, but of course he's the fourth one. He's a backup. He only got 1 or 2 plays a season. Same goes for Carlos still. I just like his speed so much. And Ryan Pelham is a new rookie, so new addition to the squad. But this wide receiver room is just so well set, and it's absolutely crazy at the quality that we have here. Tight end, Michael Mayer, another one of those absolutely pivotal players for this franchise series. Second best tight end in the league. He is just such an important player for so many reasons. Not only his plays, but also the way that he supports plays. Take a look at his yards. First season 900, close to 1,000. Then this was a little bit more of a running seasons where Bijan had fantastic seasons. And then here are the yards. This season, 86 receptions. I think that says it all. And then the yards, close to 1,000, 5 touchdowns. And yeah, just really fantastic player. I cannot praise him enough. He's been so good. He's just been so fantastic. And it's a little sad that I can't see the blocks that he caused on offense, to be honest. DJ Johnson joined us, and also his numbers, they're not going to be sky high, but he was there when I needed him. And this season, he really shone. He had 5 touchdowns. Last season, he did help us out quite a lot when Michael Mayer was injured. And the seasons before, he was just there, and he really proved his worth for the team, and that he was worthy of a new deal, and that's what he got. We've got a new player in here, Brady Priestcorn. Excited to see what he would be able to achieve, but he looks just like a very good prospect. Good tight end number 3, and he'll just grow into it. On the left side, we've got Peter Skoronski. He's been with us for a long time now, since the 2023 draft. We've got Carter McKinney as a super solid backup, so the left tackle position is set for the next 5 to 6 years to come. Peter Skoronski on a long-term deal, no worries there. Left guard Tyler Smith, picking him up out of free agency, was a little bit unexpected, but fantastic addition to the team. Kendrick Green, 83 overall, and he's just been so good. Whenever I needed him, he slotted into every position on the offensive line, apart from center, I think, and he's just been doing great. So a lot of praise for that player, and yeah, can't really add anything apart from super happy that he's here. The center, Jarrett Patterson, we drafted him when I said I need to draft a good center, and that's what we got. We've got a fantastic center, and he's just been so good. Sadly, there's not really a lot of stats to be seen here, but and I now pressed the wrong button. God damn it! Well, anyways, returning to my line of thought, Jarrett Patterson, we signed him, and from the beginning, he was a very reliable center. We did have Connor Williams, but Jarrett Patterson took over, and he's now an award winner. Super happy about that. Isendri Afua out of Georgia, also liking this player. He looks promising. He's 22.76. He can grow behind Jarrett Patterson, and I think he will be able to hold his own as well due to the strength and a few other good attributes, but he still has a lot of way to grow, of course. Right guard Netane Muti, he was really very important addition to bring into the team. He really solidified that offensive line quite a bit. And behind him we've got Jackson Carman, who with that super high strength rating of 92 really is very good, even if he has a lowly overall of 80. And he as well has proven to be there when I need him. You know, he's just stepped up so much. We had so many injuries to the offensive line, and he was just there, just helping out fantastically. Right tackle, new addition since 1 year, Francis Mauigoa. He was at the Miami College, really liking this player a lot. He is super promising. He's young, 82. He's got a startup trait. So what else is there to say? He's going to be very good. He will be there for us, and he will be protecting that right side for the years to come. Ian Moore is here as well. This is the right guard that we did switch over. He will develop. and either he'll stay or he'll leave. Not really too bothered about this one, but I also don't have any stress here on this position. Left edge. I'm going to be looking at Dashawn Womack first because he's the starter. Of course, he still is a little bit lower. Let's put this point into him straight away. With a fearmonger depth trade, right? With the overall of an 82, 23 years old out of LSU, he really has been very, very good. And he already has quite a few tackles and sacks this season. So very promising. He even made it into the rankings. So very, very good. CJ Craig, fantastic backup, 24, 82. Yeah, great player. Right edge, Jaylen Phillips is my starter here. He has been since the beginning, and I'm super happy about that, to be honest. Really liking the fact that this player has been with us since the beginning of this franchise series, and he has been so good for us and so reliable. And this season he really peaked with 5 sacks, 26 tackles. Very, very good player, and just a very good right edge. JJ Brown, good backup. In 4 years' time, I'm sure he will be ready to compete and maybe take over from Jaylen Phillips, who will then be 32. But for the moment, just a very good setup on this position. D tackles, I'm so happy that I switched over Greg Rousseau. And now he's a very good D tackle, 27 years old, 97 overall, out of Miami. A homecoming for this player, 4th best ranked defensive tackle in the game. An absolute beast. Brad Wheeler, superstar out of Montana State. Out of a corporation with the Wild Jeffrey and his series. He hasn't been that productive this season, but I just know that he's a player with a lot of promise, and he's now my D tackle number 2, and this will be his breakout season. I'm sure that one. Melvin Hills, Nasir Smith have still time to prove. Left outside linebacker, starter Adepoju Adebawore, and let's just put that point into him. Run stopper, there we go. It was a part of a trade deal with the Colts. I traded Noah Sewell over there, and we received Adepoju, who was a hidden depth trade rookie from last year. And yeah, he's been doing well. He's been growing into his role into his position here. He's still very young, but with the depth trade, I'm sure that he will grow nicely. Kareem Koscioglu, this one goes out to you, Kareem. Thank you for being here from the start. Snapped him up out of free agency. He was there when I needed him, right? Stamina, injury, toughness just make him really solid. We've got acceleration, tackle, hip power. He's a fantastic backup. 23 years old out of Knoxville College. And at some point in time, who knows, he might even be taken over. Because Adebawore, of course, he's looking good and he's got a start F trade. But basically, these two are the same and absolutely interchangeable. And who knows, maybe Kareem will be taking over the number 1 spot here. Midline back in room, Nick Bolton, one of the first trades that I made, traded with, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs here, and he has been fantastic ever since. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely rocking it, and he's been so good. We had to trade the former midline backer, just can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm going to remember in an hour or something like that, but whatever. And Nick Bolton has just locked down the position, been great at that. Gerald McCutcheon, 25-83, very good backup player. And Jeremiah Trotter, who was part who was drafted, and then I put him up, into the practice squad. Now he's back again. 24 years, 80 overall. I think he can even overtake Gerald McCutcheon at some point in time, but we just have a super solid group here. And yeah, very happy about this one. Odafe Oweh, right outside linebacker, 28-92. Another one of those players that I brought in super early from the Ravens, right in the first season. I'm just so happy that I did. He's fantastic, and he's been my starter ever since. Can't really put anything on him. Keanu Colt, a backup. What could I wish for even more here? Great player, great stuff. Fantastic right outside linebacker room. Cornerback Derek Stingley joined us in this offseason, or in the past offseason, and he has been great at CB1. And Malachi Moore has really taken over the CB2 position. He was drafted by us in the 2023 draft. Fantastic players. Just really couldn't ask for anything more. really, really great. We brought in Malik Muhammad here, 2382. I feel like he will be able to grow into a very, very good player over the course of the next 2 years. Then Roderick Glover, 2577. A little bit on the fence about him, but AJ Harris is here. If AJ Harris gets improved to a 77, I'm going to drop Roderick Glover. Don't really think that we need that many corners because we also have the safeties in our setup. But yeah, just a solid room. We can choose, we can mix and match. Really working well. Free safety Jevon Holland, one of the initial Dolphin stars. He's been so good. He's the 4th best ranked free safety in the game at the moment. He's been growing and just getting better and better. And I am so happy that he was here from the beginning. Just really made my life easier on that position immediately. Joel Moreland, his backup, 2579, also looking super solid. And just a very good backup to have. He has been growing well, and there's time for him to grow behind Jevon. So not much more to add here. Strong safety Jordan Fuller. He did go down in depth trait. He's now 29, 88 overall. He's got a normal depth trait. He is a very, very good strong safety. I see the depth trait lowering as a chance for me to keep him on the team on a cheaper deal, to be honest. But he has been very good since joining from the Rams. And he's also one of the players that I brought in straight at the beginning because we just had a few issues in terms of, contracts were a little bit high. So we had to react. But we do have Derek Williams here. And I feel like this player will be able to grow into something special. Or at the least just be a band-aid for the time until we find a better replacement for Jordan Fuller. Kicker Tyler Bass, gonna keep him. He really did very, very well. He's got that great kick power, kick accuracy. He's getting better as well. And the punter Jack Fox, also super solid. I just don't see any need to change anything right here. The practice squad is not that full, to be honest. There's quite a few players in here that I cannot even remember signing, but that is just Madden filling up the practice squad. Usually I would be clearing this out and then just going on the lookout for players that might be interesting. Jelani Watkins injured himself, which is a little bit sad because that speed and acceleration is 97, 98, really great. But with the injury, I'm going to leave him in the practice squad, maybe drag him up into the first team at some point in time. So you can see there's a lot of quality on the squad right there. One thing that will be crucial this season is to keep the team together as it is right now. And the players that will have to be re-signed, and there's quite a few of those in there, are, for instance, Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer will need a new deal, and this is truly going to be one of those big decisions that will have to be made. I'm not even doubting that we will be able to, or that we would be able to keep him around. Of course, he will want a lot of money. I don't even, I'm not even going to question that one. But yeah, still, we will be able to pay that on a 7-year deal. There's no doubt in my mind that he will be sticking with the Dolphins. Carlos Steele, well, this is a little bit of a question mark. Not sure. I will see what he wants. But basically, we will try to keep him around. He's a good prospect, I feel like. Roderick Glover, same thing. Maybe we'll keep him, maybe we'll let him go. Right edge JJ Brown, I do want to keep him around. I also think that this will not be expensive because of his age, because of his depth trait, and because of the overall, of course. Joel Moreland, same thing. Beaux Collins is a player I definitely want to keep. And this might be tricky because he's got the superstar depth trait, so who knows? Malachi Moore will be crucial. That he stays. We've got CJ Craig, and then we've got Keanu Code. So you might be saying, well, this is half the team, man. How can you be so relaxed? Well, it's not that many when you take a look at the individual positions, right? There's 2 wide receivers that need to be re-signed. That's Beaux Collins and Carlos Steele, and there's a clear priority on Beaux Collins. I think it'll get done. There's not even a problem here. But yeah, we still have to get it done, but not even going to be a problem. If we need the budget, then we're going to put it into Beaux Collins and let Carlos Steele go. Tight end room, Michael Mayer. We need to keep him. Simple as that. He will get whatever he wants, and we'll be able to pay that. And that is going to be that. Left tackle, nobody. Left guard, nobody. Center, nobody. So nobody on the offensive line, and that is huge actually. On the left edge, we have a starter, right? So if we cannot re-sign CJ Craig, yes, that will hurt maybe, but we'll just get someone out of free agency on a 1-year deal and then pick up someone in the draft. Deshaun Womack is my starter, and he will be the starter. So yeah, it's not going to be that hard. I'm always going to be looking at who is the starter and do we need to keep that player. Right edge, JJ Brown, same thing. Jalen Phillips is my starter. JJ Brown is good, yes. If we can keep him, we will do that, but we won't do that at all costs. D tackles, nothing to be done here. In 2 years' time, it'll be Brad Wheeler's time, so we're just going to have to keep that in mind, but for the most part, that will not impact this season. Left outside linebacker, everything is set. Mid linebacker, everything is set. Right outside linebacker, Keanu Colt, he is the backup. Orafio Way, still 3 years on his deal, so there's no pressure. We can't keep him, but we don't have to. And I'm sure that we could get him back out of free agency, by the way. Malachi Moore is the first one that's really a little bit tricky because he is, of course, my CB2. So he would be a starter. I would like to keep him. We will do what we can. Roderick Glover, if we can't keep him, then it's going to be bye-bye. Free safety Joel Moreland, again, he is the backup. I have a starter, and he's fantastic. If we can keep Joel, then fantastic. If not, we're just going to pick up someone out of the draft or out of the free agents pool. Strong safety, nothing to be done here. Kicker and punter are set. And apart from that, there is not much more to be done. So basically, the players that I would really see as crucial that we sign them are 3 players. Malachi Moore, number 1, Michael Mayer, number 2, and then Beaux Collins. Those are the players I really want to keep. Everybody else is expendable. That would be the biggest challenge this season, just to keep the team together. But you know, if you can't keep the team together, then you're just gonna have to say goodbye. And that actually is a pretty good part of this episode to do just that. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, the players on this Miami Dolphins team. I really enjoyed this franchise series a lot. It has been such a lot of fun turning this ramshackle offensive line into an absolute powerful stonewall, whatever protection thing for the new quarterback that was just that much more reliable. Tua, I really like him, but yeah, Taulia was just more reliable. He was just better. So there's really not much more to add here. Bijan, of course, was way better than any other of the running backs that we had. Those were really, really horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm just going to say Chase Edmonds. Just going to leave that out there. Yeesh. Jaylen Waddle, an initial Dolphin, of course, still here. Jamarr Chase is here. Beaux Collins and so on. So a lot of faces that have really grown very, very attached to. And for each and every face here, there's a story in my head right now. Be that last minute catch by Michael Mayer, I think it was against the 49ers last season, or Jared Patterson, and you know, his crazy antics on the offensive line causing penalties, and on the other hand side being such a fantastic center. Peter Skoronski being injured all the time, Bijan Robinson and his 70-yard dash, and Antwan Rabb and his touchdowns that he got, you know, those ones on those very, very slanted routes. On defense, same thing. I'm looking at the faces here. I see the players, and I just, you know, I can tell you a story about each and every one of these, and it's just been really, really great turning this team around and making it this powerhouse of a team. And to be honest, I've got no doubt in my mind that this team will run it back and that this team will be able to win another Super Bowl if we really put our minds to it. But for now, guys, I will say thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for taking part in this journey. It wouldn't have been the same without you. I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, drop me a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this series, which part was your favorite, which player was your favorite. Just let's interact on this storyline here, shall we? And apart from that, looking forward to seeing you on my other series. Thank you so much. I'm a bit speechless right now, a little bit touched about saying goodbye to this franchise. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, see you next time.